Today I am going to show you how to make a simple wire wrapped ring. So first you want to measure your ring, your finger, I mean. Okay, so let's see. You want it to not be too tight so that you can get it over your knuckle. So for me, I think I'm a 7.5. So we're gonna put it right between the 7 and the 8. See, that's perfect and it doesn't fall off. So I need a 7.5. And you need one of these tools. So I will be making a ring about around there. 7.5. You need a tape measure, flat nose pliers, and cutters, flush cutters. I've got my stones. These are moonstone, 6mm. They're faceted stones. They've got those cuts on the outside. And then I've got my Rio Grande 20 gauge copper wire. I really recommend Rio Grande. So I'm gonna take this, straighten it out, and it doesn't really matter where you get your wire. I buy mine in bulk. Okay, so I'm doing 10 inches. Buy my wire in bulk. Okay. So I've got 10 inches here. Now, if you're going to make a ring in a size past size 10, I suggest using more wire, about 12 to 14 inches, so that you give yourself enough wire. So you take your bead, and it's a round bead. You put it through, and you put it right in the middle of your wire, however long it is. Put it in the middle. Now you take your ring, I forgot what this is called, ring maker. So I need 7.5, but with the way mine works, it's kind of flat in here. I'm gonna put it at an 8 so that I get my 7.5. I need it to be 7.5. You see how the stone is round? It's actually 7.5. Okay, so you do that, and then just try and keep that stone there, hold it on the sides, the wire, and then you take the wires, cross them like this, but not like overlapping. Take your thumb, hold it. Don't worry too much about what size your wire is on right now. And then you're going to make them come to the front. Okay, so one goes below, the other one goes on top. So you can see how they're not crossing. They're just like that. And now make sure, it's important to make sure you're on the right size that you want. And you squeeze it. Squeeze your sides. Hold it on the size you want. So I'm at an 8 so that I can be. So I found that when you wire wrap rings, for some reason they shrink half an inch. I don't know if it's just because of my tool, how it has this indent, so I lose half a size, not half an inch, but half a size. I lose half a size. Okay, so right before the stone there, bend with your flat nose pliers, and on the other side as well, like this. So you get this weird kind of design now. Okay, so keeping it on here, it is not secure yet. You cannot take it off. You bend like this, and you take the other side like this, and you do it a little bit at a time. And you just kind of like the wires are chasing each other. So you're doing them both at the same time. And I do it like this. I've wrapped around twice. You can see that? And I stop. If you have a larger stone, an 8mm, this is 6mm. If you have a larger one, you can go around another time. You can do different designs. This is just a simple way to do it. Okay, so right now, make sure those are flat like that. And it's at an 8. You can see it's at an 8. I'm going to take it off like this. Okay, and then hold one side like this. So I'm holding it like this, and I am bending this wire like this. So still holding the front where the stone is. And then around we go. Ow. Okay, and pinch it. And then before you finish that side, you want to do the other side. So you really want them to be even. If you want to make this exact ring, you want the sides to be even. Okay, so see that? And then you pinch it, clamp down. Okay. So then I do this only 2 times on each side. You can do it 3 times, you can do it 4 times. I don't think it really matters. You can make your own design. Let's see. Okay, there we go. You see how it's looking right now? It's not perfect yet, but you gotta trust the process. And you can pinch these together. If you want this wire closer to the stone, you can kind of move it like that. Make sure this is here and you're doing that. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, well, when you trim off the wire, is it going to scratch me? Well, I do it a certain way so that it does not scratch my customers. And I also do sand the edges with just any sandpaper is fine, like just some sandpaper, buff the edges. Okay, I will show you how I do that. So I've got 2 on each side, 2 wraps on each side. Sorry, I repeat and talk too much. Okay, so see how it's like that? I'm going to take my cutters. I'm not going to cut yet. I'm going to make sure it's like that, okay? You want the edge to be there, not under, because that's where your skin will be. So about right there. Okay, I always use a bowl to catch my pieces, you know, so before you cut, make sure your finger is kind of holding the other end so the wire doesn't go flying. Okay, so I'm just flattening slightly. If you do too much work with the pliers, you will indent the copper or the wire. You can use silver, you can use any kind of wire. I suggest working with copper first because it is the cheapest. Okay, now you see how that's kind of up a little bit? I'm just going to fiddle with it and kind of crimp that down just a little bit. Let's check this side. It's looking pretty good now. Okay, so I'm not going to show it on video, but you would sand that just a little bit, just so it's not super sharp. And they'll stick out on the edges so they're not touching my skin, and it fits perfectly. So that you don't want that to grab on your skin. You want it just like this is fine. And you can do it any way. Like, there's so many different ways to make the ring. This is just the simple process, and you can just fly with it, like do whatever you want to do. As long as the stone's there and it fits you, then that's great. Okay, so see, it is at probably a little bit over a 7.5, but it's pretty much at a 7.5, even though I wrapped it at an 8. That's because when I was tightening those wires, for some reason, I lose half a size. Might fit an 8, but that's just how I do it. Okay, and you can put it back on here, make sure the wires are, you know, round like that. And you can oxidize it if you have liver of sulfur. This is what it looks like when it's oxidized. This is bare. Over time, your copper will oxidize naturally. You can use a polishing pad to shine it up again. Okay, so there's your ring. This is my first wire wrapping video, tutorial. First wire wrapping tutorial. And limabeads.com, they have tons of stones. They've got onyx, they've got all sorts of kind of stones. Okay, thank you for watching. Please like and share my video and leave a comment.